The entire crypto market has decided to go for yet another plunge, with Bitcoin going to as low as 96 point something thousand and a couple of coins being down 20 to 25% throughout the day. Especially, meme coins got completely cooked over the past few hours, with many of them literally being down 20% plus. Let's just quickly take a look. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can see meme coins here have gotten cooked. Pepe is back down to 1750. Just everything here is down. This peanut coin is down like 75% from its all-time high. Many coins are just getting absolutely wrecked today. And I think it's quite a good thing, you know? It keeps people aligned. It makes them realize they got to work for their bags. It's not all going to come so easy. But then again, we're back up quite a bit. Let's take a look. So as you guys might know, I've been more religiously buying the XRP dip here. So in comparison to our earlier positions right now, my XRP trade is about $40,000 worth. And again, the reason I didn't go hard is because we luckily still have about $1 million. Oh, you can't see, but we have another $1 million still to go in terms of a position that we can open. But I'm basically saying, hey, you know what? We've already got a lot of dips bought for all the other coins everywhere else. Let's on this 𝗏𝗏𝗀 account. And by the way, if you want to also trade crypto, check out the link down below to 𝗏𝗏𝗀 or to 𝗬𝗏𝗃. Either of them you can use with no KYC. You might need a VPN, but you can use them for sure. And make sure you press that like button if you haven't done it yet. But if we're taking a look at Bybit, for example, we also just recently here bought the dip again. Why? Well, for the most part, that was the dip just yesterday or something, right? For the most part, because, well, we're trying to accumulate different altcoins on here. You can see we've still got the Bitcoin position open, we got them all open, but a lot of them have turned back to nearly zero profit or just very little numbers. And that's because we saw a pretty big flush, even though many do not realize it. For Bitcoin to go back down all the way towards 96 point something, it breaks a lot in the crypto market. Now, generally, it seems we're quite neutral on the alts. It's not the weekend. I always got to confirm that. With my life, there's really no weekends, right? So I got to sometimes double check, but they're back in the green, so to speak. But then looking at the numbers, we have seen some of the craziest liquidations today that we have ever seen. So if you right now are trading crypto, you got wrecked, just know that it is one of the worst days in trading crypto history again, with $1.03 billion worth of longs liquidated over the past 24 hours, which today, it doesn't look like a lot yet, right? But if we keep this up, it actually is going to be like almost as big as what we saw last week, which was the biggest liquidation wave in many years, I believe. And so just know that the higher we go with these cryptos right now, the crazier things get. And specifically when we take a look here, altcoins mostly got wrecked because Bitcoin, it went down a good bunch, yeah, but it stayed at like 96,000. And most people have enough breath to stay in their Bitcoin trades at 96,000. But for a lot of these alts, you're not expecting a 20% move in a day, especially for just sleeping or you were kind of over leveraged a little bit, hoping for the prices to shoot up like crazy. Well, sometimes then you get this, right? And so I posted on Twitter again, it's time to lock in. And what I basically meant with that is seriously, guys, and you got to understand my idea here. Our average price right now is what? $2.20 or something, right? This is our average price. You can see we're up just a very little bit, like 4% or so. But on $4,000 we got on the account, we're already up $1,400. But the total trade is $40,000. If we do some crazy numbers from here, if we start pumping a bit here, this could actually be very juicy. If right now, just to put into perspective, we're able to go back to the prices of just yesterday from our low point here. Just the prices of yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago as of this point. On the $4,000 we put in, we'd be up $10,000. So we'd be $10,000 in the profit if we're able to get back to like 270, 275 levels or so. Which is why I want to increase this position to an even more sizable amount, because obviously $10,000 is cool, sure, but we really actually on the next leg up for XRP want to be banking a lot, as you don't know how many more of them there are going to be, or rather you don't know for how long you can or are going to be able to buy at these bottoms. It's kind of the same. Because remember, guys, today there were a few announcements. One was that I think MATIC, a big Bitcoin miner, is buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. There was some fear over, I want to say some geopolitical fear. There was a very big piece, interestingly enough, about Michael Saylor and people fearing that he could get liquidated on all his Bitcoin buys. And there was a couple of pieces on that. But primarily, if we're taking a look at the ETF providers, for example, as well, we notice they're just buying. We can have all this discussion. But for the most part, we're all arguing over some very little moves in price. And I get it on the one hand, because when you're in the moment, it feels really scary. But if you zoom out and just take a look at the trend again, it's all a facade. It's all just noise, noise, noise. And what I can tell you again is the reason I sometimes advocate to people and I say, make sure you sell once it bounces back up. Like for example, even right now, bam, 226 per XRP, our price is 219. It's because very often you will be able to flip it for cheaper or for another good entry, perhaps not cheaper, but a good entry. Like for example, we started buying, let's just say, right here. Right? We started buying right there, $2.60 something. If we just keep on buying all the way down towards maybe like this $2.10 mark or so, $2.70 mark, and we're able to buy a really big amount right there, all of a sudden our average price might just be $2.30 or so. So in the move that we just saw, right, over the next few hours, we could have actually been in a juicy amount of profit in just the span of like a few hours here. To put into perspective, that would have been roughly 60% profit or so on whatever money we put in just a few hours, even though we started our buys in a really, really stupid spot. And then the thing is, if you had held on too long, it got rejected over there, fell back down perhaps to support, which is not necessarily the biggest of supports, but it fell back down to previous support, where it also fell off earlier. Yeah, I mean, you could have actually sold right there and bought back cheaper. Or, like we're doing right now, you're just trying to buy whenever it's really low. You're looking for a good exit, but there's not been one because we've not gone back to our basically initial price target. But anyway, to continue on with my traditional story here, I'm thinking that this is again one of those moments where people can get a nice entry. People ask me the same question every day. Should I be buying these coins right now? Should I? I can call this like even an emergency video because what I'm about to tell you is if you, for example, were waiting to buy coins like 𝗵𝗵𝗃, you've been looking to get yourself a good entry. It was like 0.0000001 higher a little bit ago, like 40% down from the all-time high it is now. So for 𝗵𝗵𝗃, relatively, you're getting yourself a really, really good deal in comparison to buying right there before. If we take a look at the entire crypto market, it's been down a ton. It's down a good bunch. And so just from a logical perspective, a lot of these coins right now are down 20, 30, whatever percent. These are good opportunities because when things were going up, you're thinking, oh, should I buy? And I know everybody wants good relative deals. They don't just want things to go down and then buy them because they're going down. But think about it. If somebody yesterday offered you a 20% discount on a coin like, who cares, right? But just naming a few coins, a coin like Optimism or Celestia, would you not have taken it? If somebody earlier when Virtuals was at $3.30 said, hey, you know what? You can buy it at a 30% discount at $2.30. Would you not have taken it? You would have. It's only because everything's moving down and you get afraid that you're like, maybe not, maybe it's going to go down more. But that could always happen. But right now, at least as things are 30% down from where they were a few days ago, a couple of coins like this, they're down like 60% over the last few days. Some of them are, especially the memes. You're getting yourself relatively quite a good deal. BONK, for example, is down 50% throughout the month, 53% down from its all-time high. And I can kind of go on with that list here of how many coins are still very, very much down from the all-time high. So it's just about accumulating, in my opinion, at these lows and just not thinking too much about if it's going to go down further, because as long as you keep enough confidence, all you got to do then is buy more. As some people say, oh, but I've got no money. So you've got a liquidity issue, huh? Yeah, but crypto can't fix that. Then you got to be more into buying and selling or into being really, really careful at which points you enter with bigger gaps with potential to miss it. But that's what you got to do when you have almost no money. If you, for example, are already all in, you've got nothing left, I wouldn't be trying to buy every single dip like we're doing here every like hour or so. But I'd probably just wait for if it goes back to 190, I'd buy hard. And if it doesn't and it goes back up, hey, too bad. I'm not going to make money then, but at least I'm not like wasting everything already and don't have anything to do anymore if it goes down all the way towards the bottom. And again, that all the way towards the bottom does not mean you have to wait for like a 40-cent XRP or something, because the way I see it is that will always take some time. And by that time, I can always find more money again to make sure I can buy that dip. But I do not believe we'll go down that far. I really am not prepared for that at all mentally. I don't think it's going to happen, though, because that would require Bitcoin to also do some crazy, crazy moves. And I just don't think we're going to see anything close of the sort anymore this run. But this again made me realize that a lot of people are not as thick-skinned as they claim to be. A lot of people, they really do not believe as much in what they're holding as they claim to do. But I really do. Every single day I look at the crypto market and think, damn, I need more. Damn, I need more. And when things start going down like right now, I'm thinking, oh, which coins should I be buying and which coins should I wait a bit more for? Which coins are slightly, whatever. But I'm thinking of buying, not really of selling. Sometimes I'm thinking of, man, I should have sold that coin earlier. Sure, I think everybody has that, but I really don't FOMO that often anymore. It's mostly calculated moves. Keep your brain in the game and understand if everything, almost anything, will go up over the next few months, and you know that in your head, what is then the best strategy? If you're doing it like that, I think you'll succeed. That's about it for this little crypto update. Things are going down because they're going down. There's not really one catalyst. Some people like to point out, oh, this, that. Nope. There was one post today that I saw that I quite liked, though. This from this guy right here. He says, I buy XRP every single month, no matter the price. The reason I like that a lot, for the most part, is because if you really start thinking about it, if you just religiously buy the dip, as we're doing with the trading right here, right? Some people will call me a lunatic, but I know that even though it might show a big negative tomorrow, or the day after, who knows, it will end up at a very, very big plus. I've been doing this for too many years to get wrecked. And even if we have to build a $1.2 million position, we'll do it. I know for a fact we need to get this to at least, I'm thinking a couple $100,000 in the profit is not going to be too hard. Or rather, I should say, is probably going to happen. I won't say it's not going to be hard. But it just depends a little bit on the luck we get as well. Like, how quickly will we start spreading up like crazy? How big a dip will we get? Because if we get an actual massive dip, the amount of XRP I'll be buying is just insane. If we start going up like crazy from here, unfortunately, we might only have ourselves a relatively small position, maybe only 40,000, maybe at that point 80 or 100,000 or so. But I would be very, very happy to potentially put a couple $1 million in if we actually are able to go back to like 140 or even just back to 190 from a few days ago. I wish I was more alert and had bigger orders open. Right here, you can see it's actually small, only 5,000. I'm going to double or triple that even. I think I should maybe even 10x it, just open another $50,000 or $100,000 there. But then again, I'm also being more cautious because we have a lot of positions open on a lot of sides. And again, the more you spread things out, in my opinion, the riskier things get. It's, for example, a lot easier to focus only on Bitcoin, only on XRP, etc., or like 3 or 4 things, right? But not like 12 things or 18 things like we're doing right now. And that is mostly because, first of all, you're spreading yourself thin, but in my case, it's more then it's all mentally draining because you have to watch every single altcoin. And I prefer to just watch XRP, for example. Focus on XRP, buy the XP dip religiously because theoretically speaking, it will make us enough money already on its own. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Anyway, we're still looking good. People are afraid, but they will always be. Don't get frightened. Don't feel FOMO. Don't fear missing out on either side. Just don't make any irrational decisions. Think about your moves clearly, carefully, and more importantly, realize what's coming. Know what's coming. Feel it. Feel what's coming. You'll be good.